How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's another video. It's a quick one today. It's like really gone. It'll be that quick. As the title told you, this is basically the biggest tone that you can get out of 4 blocks. Now, technically, it's 5, and the reason for that is, just as an example, I've split the amp and the cab. So that, I mean, it's not a lie. It's not a lie. It's still 4, because realistically, if you were going to do this on your own, you would just put the amp and cab combined and not actually split the amp and cab like I've done, because, you know, it's just the way that it is. I just have to get that out the way, because some people go, hey, motherfucker, I can count. It's 5, not 4, you fuck. Or something like that. So, this is an amp that I've not really had a lot of time with. I've kind of ignored it. And I just thought, you know what, let's have a dive in with that, and let's just see what we can get out of it. So this is primarily aimed at HX Stomp users. I still use the HX Stomp, but I use it more for bass. It's set up on a pedal board far away in a studio somewhere for, you know, bass duties. That's primarily what I use that for. So maybe in the future I'll do some bass stuff. If anybody's even slightly interested, then I'll do some bass stuff. So here we go, nice and quick. And the reason that I've split the amp and cab is that the cab is not necessarily what you thought I would have used. So let's get on to that. So as always, at the beginning is our tube screamer, 0 gain, tone about halfway, level all the way up. Then we've got the amp, lead gain is all the way up, and lead drive is like round about 3.7. I mean, I could probably up that again as well if I wanted to, but I've done some messing with the presence and I've pulled the mids out, because the tube screamer, like I've said before, if you know tube screamers, they put a bit of a mid hump into your tone. So I didn't want it to be kind of too, you know, honky if you like. So I took some of the mids out of there. Plus it gives it a little bit of girth. That's the word I was looking for. Girth. And then the sag, normally I would have the sag kind of rolled back a little bit, but I've pushed it up just for the sake of this amp, because it kind of just felt a little bit better under the fingers, if you get me. And then the bias and the bias X have kind of messed around with that a little bit. So all of these things are kind of subjective to you. You can change them and do whatever you want. Then that will feed into the cab, which you wouldn't think would be this one, which is the Who What. The reason that I chose that is it just seemed a little clearer, not as woofy as, you know, maybe putting the actual Cali V30 in there. It just behaved really nice, especially with the 57 dynamic. And I'll throw the IR in there in a minute just to show you the kind of how, you know, they're pretty close. They're not too far away from each other. The glitz reverb after that, and then the dual delay. And that is your basic kind of stock settings for, you know, something that you can kind of add to and build on your own. So if you want to put a wah or a volume at the front, or swap this tube screamer out for something else, and then you've got plenty of room to kind of put your 8 blocks in your HX Stomp, or you can just put it into Helix and use it as a basic. So let's have a little fiddle around together while we're here. It's still got that kind of woofy kind of feel to it. So it's huge sounding. It's massive sounding. So the reason that I put this together like this is you can take this away and just kind of play around with it and fiddle about with it. But the basic core sound of being able to quickly get 4 blocks together technically it's 5 because I've split the cab, which I'll show you the IR now, and be able to be up and running, gig ready straight away. Now, if I was kind of presented with that tone, if I turned up at a gig and I had absolutely nothing and that was in front of me, I'd quite happily gig that. There'd be certain parts of it that I would change, but that's the whole reason why I do this thing anyways, that the fact that you can download these for free on Custom Tone. All I ask is that you subscribe and hit the notification bell. And then you can take these away and make them your own. So let's look at the cab. So this cab, voice is going from yesterday. Turned into Michael Jackson then. This cab is not too far away from my IR. It's not too far away at all. I mean, yes, there is differences, but it's not that far. Let's put the cab back in. Again, I'll be happy to gig with that. Behaves quite nice when you roll the volume off the guitar as well. Got to do them harmonics when you're playing anything like that. So that's basically the patch. You can now go and download that. The link is below. It's all on Custom Tone. It's all for free. And again, the main reason that I separated the amp and the cab is that you might not like that cab and you might want to put an IR in of your own. I know it's a complete pain in the ass when somebody makes these presets and they've kind of combined the amp and the cab together. And you've got to then make a note of the amp and then redo everything. This is just an easier way for you to be able to download it and sort it out yourself. So that's your patch. As always, thanks for watching. I appreciate you being here. Just, do the whole thing with the bell and the subscribe button, do all this good, naughty stuff. And I'll be back with some more. And for those of you that are asking about the Van Halen patches, you can see them in the list on the screen. I will do a Van Halen patch build release, if you like. The only problem with that is that 9 times out of 10, if I do anything Van Halen or anything Pink Floyd, I get copyright struck, and YouTube's a little bit of a pain in the ass for that. So we'll have to figure out a workaround, and then I'll come back to you. All right, guys, take it easy. I'll see you on the next one.